Tyler Durden never worked alone. Woody wasn't Andy's first friend. Kevin McCallister might have grown up to build deadly traps for a living. Fight Club's hidden third personality. Everyone knows about Tyler and the narrator, but there are clues pointing to a third identity quietly pulling strings behind both of them. Throughout the film, the narrator talks to himself in three distinct tones: passive, chaotic, and calculating. That last voice appears in moments where neither he nor Tyler seems in control, like when the gun suddenly appears in his hand at the end. Director David Fincher is known for hiding subliminal frames, and fans have noted shots where neither the narrator nor Tyler fits the physical positioning. Someone else seems to be moving in the background, someone the film never names. It fits the story's central theme, dissociation fracturing, until the mind creates an observer self to manage the collapse. Tyler wasn't born out of chaos. He was born to protect the third man already hiding inside. The Truman Show has multiple simulations running. Truman isn't the only one being watched, he's just the experiment the audience sees. The extra-wide shots of the control room show dozens of feeds that don't match Truman's environment, hinting that other lives are being monitored at the same time. Christof even states that Sea Haven is the model for the way the world should be, suggesting other worlds exist for comparison. Set designers in the film within the film wear badges labeled Zone B and Zone C, implying Truman is in Sector A of a much larger simulated grid. The dome isn't a single show, it's one piece of a corporate megastructure running multiple lives in parallel. Truman wasn't the star, he was the prototype. Woody originally belonged to Andy's father. Woody isn't a modern toy, he's vintage, too vintage. He has no recorded manufacturing date, no commercial packaging, and no other copies appear anywhere in Andy's world. Every other toy in Toy Story is part of a mass-produced line, except him. Woody's fading colors, outdated pull-string voice box, and cowboy design place him in the early 1950s, long before Andy was born. The theory says Woody belonged to Andy's dad, who passed away, and was handed down secretly by Andy's mother to protect the boy from grief. Woody's extreme emotional attachment to Andy, far stronger than the other toys' bonds, suggests he's already experienced losing his first owner. He's not Andy's first cowboy. He's the last surviving memory of Andy's father. Hammond planned Jurassic Park to fail. John Hammond plays the harmless dreamer, but his money, his ruthlessness, and his insistence on bringing in specific experts reveal a darker plan. He invites paleontologists, lawyers, and mathematicians right before the park collapses, essentially creating the perfect panel of witnesses to blame the disaster on faulty science instead of corporate negligence. He cuts corners everywhere except in the marketing budget. He insists on opening early despite warnings. He leaves the entire system in the hands of a single disgruntled programmer. None of this resembles incompetence. It resembles sabotage. By letting the park fail spectacularly, Hammond retained ownership of the technology while avoiding responsibility for the casualties. Jurassic Park wasn't a dream. It was a controlled demolition. Kevin McCallister grows up to become Jigsaw. Kevin's traps weren't childish pranks. They were engineered torture devices. He builds complex mechanical systems, studies human behavior, and smiles while watching his victims suffer. His calmness under pressure and obsession with teaching lessons mirror every psychological trait John Kramer displays in the Saw films. Kevin also grows up in Chicago, the same region where Jigsaw's earliest traps are discovered. His basement fear evolves into mechanical mastery, and his games escalate from paint cans to life-or-death puzzles. Look closely at Jigsaw's designs: pulleys, weighted triggers, heat sources, and improvised weapons. Exactly what Kevin created at age 8. He didn't stop setting traps. He just stopped pretending they were harmless. Scar's coup began long before Mufasa's death. Scar didn't seize power. He spent years orchestrating it. He's the only lion with a British cadence, suggesting he was educated or raised differently, possibly groomed as a political advisor rather than a warrior. His scar is never explained, hinting at an earlier failed coup attempt. He forms alliances with hyenas, controls the food distribution, and manipulates the royal flock with military-level strategy. Even his song "Be Prepared" references supply lines, troops, and succession laws, stuff only a long-term schemer would know. Scar wasn't jealous, he was patient. The stampede wasn't an opportunity, it was phase 7 of a plan already in motion. The Prestige has a hidden third clone. The film shows two primary versions of Borden and Angier, but the final act implies a third, unaccounted-for clone survived the machine. During the finale, Angier's storage tanks feature more bodies than the number of performances shown on screen. A few tanks are sealed earlier than the timeline allows, suggesting not every clone was killed as intended. One of these missing versions could be the final Angier who confronts Borden. The real Angier may have died pages earlier, while the surviving clone orchestrated the ending. Tesla even warns that the machine casts shadows, plural, hinting the process is less controlled than Angier believes. The trick didn't end with duplication. It ended with someone slipping through the cracks. Donnie Darko's loop is endless. Donnie doesn't save the world. He restarts a cycle he's already trapped in. The tangent universe collapses back into the primary timeline, but the film shows subtle changes during each loop, like altered dialogue and shifted character behaviors. Frank's appearance is too precise, as if he's already lived through multiple resets. Grandma Death's writings describe the chosen vessel, dying repeatedly to stabilize reality, not just once. Donnie isn't a hero. He's a cosmic sacrifice replaying the same destiny over and over, each time aware of it one step earlier. The smile on his face when he dies isn't acceptance, it's recognition. The Wizard of Oz is a shared hallucination. Dorothy's dream isn't hers alone. It's a collective psychological escape created by everyone trapped in the Depression-era Midwest. Each character she meets represents someone else's trauma. The Scarecrow's hunger, the Tin Man's emotional numbness, the Lion's fear of economic collapse. Their voices overlap in the dream world in ways that mirror real-world conversations from Kansas. Even more disturbing, the characters react to Dorothy as if they've met her before, suggesting they're sharing the same mental landscape. Miss Gulch, the farmhands, and the wizard all embody archetypes generated by a community suffering unified stress. Oz isn't Dorothy's fantasy. It's a psychic refuge built by an entire town trying to forget reality. Forrest Gump secretly rewrote American history. Forrest isn't just stumbling through iconic moments, he's shaping them. He accidentally sparks the jogging craze, inspires the smiley face logo, teaches Elvis his signature dance, and even uncovers Watergate without understanding what he's done. Every time American culture shifts, Forrest appears right at the tipping point, nudges history in a new direction, and then quietly fades into the background as if he was never there. Some fans argue Forrest is more than just lucky. He's an unseen force correcting the timeline, influencing the country in ways no one around him ever notices.